Single men often develop a strong sense of emotional independence over time, largely because they are required to face their inner lives without relying on a partner to regulate their moods or validate their decisions. This independence encourages deeper self-awareness, as they must regularly reflect on their feelings, motivations, and reactions. Instead of outsourcing emotional labor, they learn to process stress, disappointment, and joy internally, which can lead to a more balanced mental state as they age. Without the constant negotiation that romantic relationships often demand, single men may experience fewer chronic stressors tied to conflict, compromise, or emotional misalignment. This does not mean their lives are free of hardship, but rather that their stress tends to be more situational than relational. Over time, this can result in lower baseline anxiety levels and a calmer approach to everyday challenges, which has a direct impact on how well someone ages psychologically. Many single men cultivate routines that prioritize mental clarity, such as exercise, meditation, reading, or creative pursuits. These habits are often formed organically, driven by personal interest rather than shared obligation. As these routines compound over years, they contribute to emotional resilience and cognitive flexibility, both of which are strongly associated with healthy aging. Being single also allows men the freedom to sit with solitude without immediately labeling it as loneliness. Learning to enjoy one's own company is a skill that strengthens with practice, and men who master it often report greater life satisfaction later on. Solitude becomes a space for rest, reflection, and recalibration, rather than something to escape from. Single men may also be more selective about the emotional relationships they do maintain, choosing friendships that are supportive and low drama. These friendships often grow deeper with time, as they are based on mutual respect rather than convenience. Strong social bonds outside of romantic partnerships have been shown to protect mental health and promote longevity. Without the pressure to meet a partner's expectations, many men feel freer to redefine success on their own terms. This can reduce feelings of inadequacy or failure that sometimes emerge from traditional relationship milestones. Aging then becomes less about loss or comparison and more about personal evolution and self-acceptance. Emotional autonomy also allows single men to adapt more easily to life transitions. Career changes, relocations, and shifts in identity can be navigated without the added complexity of negotiating shared plans. This adaptability fosters confidence and reduces the emotional toll that change can otherwise impose over time. Single men are often forced to confront emotional discomfort head-on, rather than avoiding it through relationship dynamics. While this can be challenging in the short term, it builds long-term emotional strength. Over years, this strength manifests as steadiness, perspective, and an increased ability to handle adversity. As men age, emotional regulation becomes increasingly important for overall health. Chronic emotional turmoil can accelerate aging both mentally and physically. Men who have spent years honing their emotional self-management are often better equipped to maintain equilibrium in later life. Ultimately, emotional independence allows single men to age with a sense of inner stability. Rather than being defined by relationship status, they are grounded in self-knowledge and emotional competence. This foundation supports not only mental well-being but also a more peaceful and confident experience of aging. Single men often have greater control over their daily lifestyles, which can positively affect how they age physically. Decisions about diet, sleep, exercise, and daily structure are made independently, allowing habits to align closely with personal health goals. Over time, this autonomy can result in more consistent and sustainable health routines. Without needing to accommodate another person's preferences, single men may find it easier to maintain disciplined eating patterns. They can choose foods based on nutritional value rather than convenience or compromise. This long-term dietary consistency supports metabolic health, weight management, and overall physical resilience as they age. Exercise routines also tend to be more flexible and personalized for single men. Whether it's weight training, running, swimming, or walking, they can adjust intensity and frequency without external pressure. Regular physical activity is one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging, and autonomy makes it easier to stay committed over decades. Sleep quality is another area where single men may benefit. Sharing a living space or bed can disrupt sleep patterns, while living alone allows for complete control over sleep environments and schedules. High-quality sleep supports immune function, cognitive health, and hormonal balance, all of which influence the aging process. Single men may also experience fewer lifestyle-related conflicts that lead to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Relationship stress can sometimes contribute to overeating, alcohol misuse, or sedentary habits. By avoiding these stressors, single men may be better positioned to maintain healthier behaviors consistently. Healthcare decisions are often more straightforward for men who live alone. They can prioritize preventive care, schedule appointments freely, and make medical choices without negotiation. This proactive approach to health monitoring helps identify potential issues earlier, improving long-term outcomes. Physical self-reliance also plays a role in aging well. Single men are more likely to manage household tasks, maintenance, and daily logistics themselves. These activities keep them physically active in subtle but meaningful ways, promoting mobility and functional strength over time. Financial autonomy can further support physical health by reducing strain and allowing investment in wellness. Gym memberships, quality food, mental health resources, and preventative care become personal priorities rather than shared budget debates. Reduced financial stress has a direct correlation with better physical aging. Single men often develop a strong awareness of their bodies because they must respond directly to physical discomfort or fatigue. There is no partner to compensate or pick up the slack, which encourages attentiveness to early warning signs. This awareness supports timely rest, recovery, and medical intervention. As years pass, the cumulative effect of autonomous lifestyle choices becomes visible. Men who have shaped their daily lives around their own well-being often show greater vitality, mobility, and physical confidence. Aging then appears less like decline and more like a gradual, well-managed transition. Single men often invest more deeply in personal growth because their identity is not anchored to a romantic role. Without being defined as a partner or spouse, they are freer to explore who they are and who they want to become. This ongoing self-exploration contributes to a strong and adaptable sense of self as they age. Career development can become a central avenue for meaning and growth. Single men may take greater professional risks, pursue long-term goals, or pivot careers later in life. This engagement with purposeful work keeps the mind active and reinforces a sense of relevance and competence over time. Creative pursuits frequently play a larger role in the lives of single men. Writing, music, art, craftsmanship, and other forms of expression provide both cognitive stimulation and emotional release. These pursuits often deepen with age, offering fulfillment that is independent of external validation. Many single men cultivate philosophies of life that emphasize autonomy, responsibility, and self-respect. These internal value systems guide decisions and provide stability during uncertain times. Aging with a coherent personal philosophy can reduce existential anxiety and increase life satisfaction. Without the pressure to meet relational timelines, single men often experience life as less rushed. This slower pace allows for deeper engagement with experiences and relationships that truly matter to them. Time becomes something to inhabit rather than something to race against. Single men may also be more open to redefining masculinity on their own terms. Freed from traditional relationship expectations, they can integrate vulnerability, emotional intelligence, and self-care into their identities. This flexibility supports healthier psychological aging and richer interpersonal connections. Purpose for single men is often derived from contribution rather than obligation. Mentorship, volunteering, creative output, or community involvement become meaningful ways to engage with the world. A sense of contribution is a powerful predictor of well-being in later life. As they age, single men frequently develop a strong narrative about their lives. Rather than seeing themselves as incomplete, they recognize the coherence and intention behind their choices. This narrative integration supports self-esteem and reduces regret. Personal growth does not stop with age for men who have cultivated curiosity and self-directed learning. Reading, travel, skill acquisition, and reflection remain central throughout life. Continuous learning keeps the brain active and reinforces a youthful orientation toward the future. In the end, single men who age well often do so because their lives are internally aligned. Their identities are self-authored, their purpose is self-chosen, and their growth is ongoing. Aging, for them, becomes an expression of depth rather than a loss of possibility.